Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dale Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Berry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I'm now joined by 2015 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver out of Western Oregon University, Tyrell Williams. I appreciate you taking some time to chat today, Tyrell. How's everything going?
It's going great. Just looking forward to everything that's been going on and just ready to keep getting it going.
Oh, I'm sure, man. It looks like we're just over a month and a half away from the NFL Draft. I know you've been really busy. And let's go ahead and get right to it. Talk a little bit about this journey of yours. I just want to start off by asking you a pretty simple question, and that is, coming out of high school, why did you decide to attend Western Oregon University and play Division II football for the Wolves? I know your brother was actually there playing cornerback. I mean, did that have any impact on your college decision?
Yeah, that was probably the main reason I decided to go to Western, is because my brother played there. I played with him 2 years in high school, and once he got the offer to come to Western, I mean, that was one of the main reasons I wanted to be able to continue playing with him, because I redshirted my first year, so I got to play 3 years in college with him. So, I mean, it was awesome out there playing with him to get that college experience, because my dad, that was always his dream to have both his sons playing college, and then especially if we could play on the same team, we could be at every game. It was a perfect situation.
Oh, yeah, definitely sounds awesome. Now, you mentioned you redshirted your first year, and then your first year active as a redshirt freshman at Western Oregon. You had a pretty solid season. You were able to put up 21 receptions for 335 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that was all in 9 games. Again, that's as a freshman. Now, as a sophomore, you played in all 11 games. You became one of the team's starting wide receivers as you led the team with 39 receptions for over 650 yards and 4 touchdowns. Can you just take us through those first 2 seasons of yours at Western Oregon? I mean, did you expect to get that type of playing time? Did you expect to have that type of impact that you ended up having on the team so early on during your time there?
Yeah, coming into the summer after my redshirt year, I knew I had a chance to be the starter after spring ball and everything, and so I kind of prepared myself for that, because, I hadn't played in over a year because that redshirt year. And so coming in, I knew if I just kept working, that I'd have a chance to start my redshirt freshman year. And I did get to start my redshirt freshman year, and so it was awesome to be out there, because, like, again, I got to play with my brother, and we got to play on some special teams together and stuff like that, and be on the field at the same time. So I think it was awesome. And then going into my sophomore year, I kind of had the feel of it, got a little bit more used to the game speed and the physicalness, and started getting more acclimated with the game, and started having a little bit more success, and was way more comfortable out there. And I mean, the stats and stuff started coming with that, and so it was a lot of fun being able to start since my freshman year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, after those 2 very solid seasons, like you said, you continue to have success. As a junior, you actually led the team in all receiving categories. Once again, 49 receptions, 850 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Now, with that being said, what were your expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final go-around at the college level? I mean, I got to think you wanted to go out with a bang.
Yeah, definitely. After having the success of my junior year, I started seeing some double teams during the end of my junior year. So coming into my senior year, I knew I'd probably see them all game long. We lost some senior receivers and stuff that were gone. We lost about 4 guys. And so we had a lot of young guys step up. We had an All-American freshman, Paul Revis, who was awesome, kind of took some pressure off that side. He saw a lot of success, because I still saw a lot of double teams throughout my senior year. But I mean, it was still a great year. I had a great quarterback. We had a great team, so we had a lot of seniors that I came in with to go out with a bang. So we saw a lot of injuries, though, throughout the season, and that kind of hurt us with the overall record and team success. But I still feel individually I had a pretty good year, and so, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's certainly safe to say that you did indeed go out with a bang. I mean, like you said, you've seen double teams almost every game, if not every game. You put up career-high numbers this past season with 56 receptions, 950 yards, and 8 touchdowns. There were 5 games where you put up at least 5 catches for over 100 yards. I see that you ended your Western Oregon Wolves career as the conference's all-time leader in receptions with 165. I believe you're second all-time in receiving yards at Western Oregon with over 2,700 yards. And you were on the All-GNAC first team 3 of your 4 years there. How would you describe this past season? How were you able to have the success that you were able to have throughout your college career? And do the accolades that you've received throughout the last 4 years, do they mean anything to you?
I mean, it's obviously cool. I mean, whenever you can get recognized for the work that you put in, it's awesome. The only thing was we really wanted to get a conference title while we were there, and we kind of came up second place 3 years in a row, so that was probably the main thing that if anything could be different, I wish we could have got that title, but I mean, it was still a great experience being able to play with family and all my friends I came in with and stuff. I mean, accolades are cool, being able to, get recognized, but that championship would have been the best thing. So, I mean, still kind of hurts me a little bit that we didn't get that championship.
Once again, Chris Shanfeld talking with 2015 NFL Draft prospect wide receiver out of Western Oregon University, Tyrell Williams. And Tyrell, when you were a freshman in college, if I were to tell you that once your time is up at Western Oregon, that you would be getting ready to have an opportunity to play in the NFL and that you had an amazing pro day and that just over a month away from the NFL Draft that your name really started to heat up, what would you say to me? I mean, would you believe me?
I would be completely ecstatic. I mean, it's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid, so I mean, just knowing that was my goal. I mean, I always worked hard for it, always tried for it and everything, and so college football was like the first step in being able to go after that dream, so I definitely would be surprised and excited for the chance that I've had. And, I mean, I did great, so, I mean, the pro day was awesome and really set me up for this opportunity. So, I mean, everything's been going great, and I'm excited to keep it going.
And when did you realize that playing in the NFL may not only be a dream, but it could become a reality? I mean, was there a moment where you thought to yourself, man, if I keep this up, I might really have a shot at the next level, or anything really like that?
Coming into my junior year, we had some scouts. We had a defensive tackle who was receiving looks to play. And there were some scouts at practices and stuff, and then my coach started telling me that they were asking about me and stuff like that, and so I kind of got interested to me once I thought that they were talking about me. And then later as the year went on, more and more kind of started talking to my coaches, and my coach kind of started passing the word on, and then I started realizing, if I start fixing the little things that they see that I need to fix coming in my senior year, I could really have an opportunity to go out there, be able to go out there and get a shot to play. So during that offseason, I really worked on more stuff that the scouts came in and saw on film and in practice that I need to work on. And I think I did a good job of that, and now it's starting to become a reality.
Well, obviously there's a lot of talent at every level of football. You've been playing Division II. I mean, D1, D1AA, D2, D3, NAIA, you name it, there's talent. Over the last 4 years, who would you say is the best or most impressive player you've had to play against? I mean, is there anybody specific that sticks out?
My freshman year, we played against Montana, and there was a corner named Tremaine Johnson. I think he plays for the Rams right now. And he was probably the best player I went against. I mean, he was about 6'4", 220, huge guy. It was my first year starting and getting an opportunity to go out and play at Montana in front of a huge crowd and against an NFL guy. I mean, that was probably the best guy I played against and the best atmosphere I played against.
I know that every year you guys also play Simon Frazier, and they also have a standout wide receiver entering the draft by the name of Lamar Durant. Some say that it's a possibility that he could even go number 1 overall in the CFL draft. You've seen your team go against him for years now. I mean, what are your thoughts on the fellow wide receiver?
He's a really good receiver. He's fun to watch. He makes some unbelievable catches. Like you just don't see him making. I mean, you don't see everyday receivers making. So I mean, he's a great talent, big guy, and he's fast. And I mean, his stats are amazing. And he goes out there and plays hard every game. So I mean, I can definitely see him having success at the next level for sure.
Once again, 2015 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver out of Western Oregon University, Tyrell Williams, here on the CS Podcast. And Tyrell, just a few more questions, then I'll let you go. I really do appreciate your time. What do you feel is your biggest strength as a wide receiver?
I would say my size and speed combination. There's a lot of smaller guys who run pretty fast and have good numbers like that, but I feel like once you can add the size to it and have that speed. And then my physicalness in the blocking game, I feel like I really take pride in that. After my first couple of years, I wasn't a big blocker, and I'm starting to see that if I wasn't going to block, then my playing time would probably go down. So I really started taking pride in my blocking and getting in the weight room to make sure I was stronger than the defensive guys. And so I think those are my two biggest upsides.
I absolutely love that you mentioned blocking. I mean, you don't really hear a lot of receivers say that they actually like to block. And for you, like you said, if you didn't learn to like it, your playing time might have cut down a little bit. I absolutely love hearing that. Is there a wide receiver currently playing in the NFL today that you might compare your game to?
I wouldn't say compare my game to, but as far as like look up to as how I'd want to play, it would be AJ Green. I think kind of have the same body type and kind of same way we move with the long strides and getting out of breaks and stuff. So I watch a lot of film on him, trying to emulate the stuff that he does. And then for another guy, it's Randy Moss. I mean, one of the best that's ever played. And he's a taller guy, longer stride too. So I like to look at a lot of his tape and see how he gets in out of routes and run his routes with his long strides.
Hey, certainly cannot go wrong with that. A.J. Green, one of the top wide receivers in the NFL today. And you mentioned Randy Moss. I mean, personally, he's my favorite wide receiver of all time. Definitely a future Hall of Famer. Like I said, cannot go wrong with either of those two. Now, Tyrell, I know that you've been working out with Brian Martin and Parabolic Sports, who definitely do a great job getting guys ready for the next level. Can you just tell us, how they've helped you improve your game and get you ready for that pro day?
Going out to New Jersey was probably the best decision I ever made as far as getting ready for my pro day. And, I mean, they helped me beyond anything I could imagine. I mean, getting me ready for the 40 and my quick start and just having the right footwork for in between the drills, as well as getting stronger and more explosive in the weight room. And the treatment we received for any soreness, any injuries that we had were amazing. I mean, we were getting treatment every day for as long as we needed until we felt right. And, I mean, the other guys that were there, their pro days have been amazing. We've got guys running in the 14s and their 40s and stuff like that. So, I mean, going out there, they complete change going out there and working with them. I mean, I give a lot of credit for my pro day to them.
And recently you did have your pro day. I believe it was at Oregon State, and the numbers that you put up were really eye-opening. You stand at 6'3.5", 204 pounds. You ran a 4.38 40, 4.22 shuttle, 6.53 L drill, and a 39.5-inch vertical. I mean, looking back, obviously, I mean, those are great numbers in my mind. Looking back, are you satisfied with the numbers that you put up?
I'm happy with them, but I feel like I could have done a little better in each one. I mean, definitely still satisfied with them, but in my vert, I had to jump left-handed because I just had recently had shoulder surgery, and so I feel like I could have gotten a little bit higher if I was able to go with my dominant hand. But I mean, I'm still real happy with everything. I wanted to get in the 4.3s to 40, and I accomplished that. And I wanted to have the fastest 3-cone in all receivers throughout the year. And I got that, and so, I mean, I'm happy with them. I thought I could have got a little bit faster on everything, but I can't complain.
Hey, sounds great. Now, here's a question I like to ask every prospect I have on. Let's say there's an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should he want wide receiver out of Western Oregon, Tyrell Williams, a part of his team?
I would just say that, I mean, I'm a big, tall, fast receiver. Coming in, my work is harder than anybody that's going to be there. I mean, it's been a dream of mine for my whole life, and I mean, nothing's gonna get in my way to accomplish the dream. And I mean, I pick up game plans and plays as fast as anybody, and I just feel like I make a difference when I'm on the field and not on the field for every play. And I'm out there going to work harder than anybody and make this dream come true and go out there and win as many games as possible and as many championships as possible.
Now, I know at your pro day, you were able to meet with a number of scouts. From what I hear, they're really impressed by you, and with those numbers, it's hard not to be. According to a CBS sports writer, you'll be visiting with the New England Patriots coming up soon. That's definitely big time right there. Any idea what these scouts are saying about you, though? I mean, whether it's something they said to you personally or your agent relaying the message to you, what are these scouts falling in love with out of Tyrell Williams?
I've just been hearing that they were impressed with my pro day. A lot of them said that they hadn't heard much about me up until then, and so they've just been getting feedback since then, seeing my film, and they've been impressed with the film. And so there's little things I got to work on, and a lot of things I got to work on actually. And so if I just get those taken care of, and if I get any workouts coming up more, then I just gotta have those things fixed and come into the season ready to go. With the small school label behind me, I'm already behind on that. So if I got to come in with everything fixed and come in and working hard and making sure that everything is handled, and so I'm not any farther behind than I already am. So I want to come in there and be ahead of the game as far as other receivers that they brought in, as well as receivers that are there already.
Right on. Well, we're about a month and a half away from the 2015 NFL Draft. It's actually going to be here in Chicago for the first time. Has it sunk in yet that you've played in your final college football game and that the next time you play will be in the pros?
It's a surreal feeling. I mean, especially since it's been a dream of mine forever. You know, just the big thing that I've always thought is just being in the locker room and seeing my name on the locker with the NFL helmet would just be unbelievable, and just. For to be able to walk out onto a field and that would be an NFL stadium would just be, I mean, I don't even have words to describe the excitement that I would have. So I know my whole family would just be ecstatic, all my friends would be ecstatic, and so it would just be a great experience, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the Chicago Bears recently traded Brandon Marshall to the New York Jets. We're looking for somebody to, play opposite side of Alshon Jeffrey. How would you feel about coming to Chicago playing for the Bears?
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to get out there and play. Anybody that wants me, I mean, they're going to get one of the best receivers in the draft, I would say. So I'm excited for any opportunity that would come. Go out and play in Chicago would be great.
Hey, well, Tyrell, that's all I have for you, man. I really do appreciate your time. It was definitely a pleasure speaking with you. Wishing you nothing but the best throughout this process. Congratulations on the very successful career you had at Western Oregon and, of course, the stellar pro day. Do you have anything else for us before I let you go?
I don't think so. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak with you. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Well, once again, Tyrell, the pleasure was all mine. And like I said, I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Thanks again and take care, all right?
Thank you.